Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and this is the Tea with Spirit show. This is episode 6. So go ahead and pour your cups of tea and put your tea bags in and get the crumpets and get everything started so that you can tune in, relax to another episode of Tea with Spirit, where Spirit dishes the tea, gives you the tea to your questions. If you are tuning in for the very first time to this episode, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Also, you can look at all my other episodes with Tea with Spirit. I did have a playlist created, so you can catch up if this is the first episode that you're ever watching. Also, if you'd like to submit a question to the show, all you have to do is email raymondguzman@hotmail.com, and on the subject line of your email, put Tea with Spirit. And then in the subject line, in the body of your email, go ahead and put your question, be very specific, and then have an alias, because if and when your question is selected and read on air, I won't be giving out your real name. I'll be using the alias due to confidentiality purposes. So I look forward to receiving your emails. So let's go ahead and get into the first question. The first question this week is coming from viewer DW222. And DW222 says, "Dear Raymond, what do you see for my son John? He is 28 and has never had a job outside the home. He has two bachelor degrees and is very smart. Can you help us figure out how to help him?" So DW222, thank you so much for submitting that question. This is very interesting because I believe in the other episodes we did discuss about individuals who have degrees or they've gone to school and they struggle to find a job, out there in the market. What I'm getting for your son is that he does have some issues, some phobias. This is almost like an unspoken phobia. That's what I'm getting from Spirit about maybe, putting himself out and immersing in where there's a lot of people. What he could do, what you could do for him is to maybe see a Reiki healer and get some Reiki healing, specifically in all his chakras. He feels very unaligned when it goes into his energy points. The different energy points in his body, they're called chakras. They all seem out of place, and I feel like he feels almost like this fear that he's going to be attacked when he gets out into, what we would call, quote unquote, the real world around people. I feel like he also has issues with authority figures. So I don't know if he was ever challenging to you and your husband at all as he was growing up. I'm pretty sure he's a good kid, a good, son, but I feel like there was this challenge, always this rebellion almost, so to speak. So I get that he may have had some issues, taking orders. Comes across very independent and self-sufficient. I don't see anything really wrong him working from home if he would get like a remote job, a job that's more remote, working from home. I mean, that's all up to him. To be honest with you, the way the direction of things are going in this world is a lot of employees actually want to work from home because it gives them more of convenience, flexibility. They can be more comfortable. A lot of customer service jobs, when you call into like these utility companies and, pizza hotlines that are answering these phones, a lot of them are not in call centers anymore. They are remote. They're outsourcing these jobs to individuals who work from their home directly. But you wouldn't know that. Nobody would know that you're working from your own home. And they have like supervisor that they can contact online. I do get that he is good in making money. He can make money, and he will over the next year. I do get that very much so. I also feel like he has choices. He has decisions that he's thinking about right now, what he wants to do. There's different directions, and I feel like he's not going to continue to be at home, working from home. He is going to step out. But with this, there is a move. So I don't know if y'all are trying to kind of get him to move out of the home or to move, away. But I do see that he is going to be moving. There's a lot of communication that is taking place right now between him and another person. I feel like this is a female, actually. And this is more on the romantic level as well. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes over the next year and a half to 2 years from now. From what I'm seeing from Spirit, there's definitely going to be a lot of changes, a lot of positivity that for him. And there is like an Aquarius energy around him. That's what I'm getting. So I don't know if he's one of his best friends is maybe an Aquarius sign or an air sign, but I'm getting like an air sign. This would be Gemini, Aquarius, or I believe Libra. But there is an air sign. There is an air energy, but I feel like it's more like an Aquarius energy around. So I don't know if someone in the family is maybe Aquarius, but that's what I'm getting. I also feel like there's some things that you are going through as well right now that kind of make you feel a little bit on edge. You are kind of turning more to your spiritual side a little bit more, and you're going through those shifts. And so you're, trying to make sure that your son is okay and everything is okay in the family. But Spirit wants you to kind of release that because you have this need for control, which is not a bad thing. You're mama bear, you're the mom, you love your son, but there needs to be a sense of just releasing and letting him do his thing, but also not enabling him. So if you feel like this is time for him to kind of like get up and get out into the world, he's always welcome at your home, but you may have to have a discussion with him or give him some kind of outline or action plan to get out, and it would do him good to socialize, to make friends and whatnot. But for the most part, I feel like he's always going to do things from home too, wherever he's living at. So it won't just be out in the world. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do understand your concern. But that is what Spirit is showing me right now, and I do feel like you are going to get a lot more insight over the next 3 months before right as like around January, you'll have a little bit more clarity and be able to see changes in him already that are being implemented. But yeah, that's a very good question. I want to thank you so much for submitting that. Thank you so much. All right, our next question is from Holding On Mom. And Holding On Mom says, "Hi Raymond, thank you for reading my question. I have many questions, but I guess my biggest is that I feel stuck. I want to make big changes in my life, but I'm not sure the time is right, not sure it's beneficial for my kids. I've stepped back on some things and have been praying and trying to focus on my kids. I just want to know if this holding pattern is right for now, or if I need to step out and take a leap of faith. Blessings." Holding On Mom. All right, Holding On Mom, thank you so much for submitting that question. It's very interesting. I think that when there's a lot of parents out there that get bashed for being stay-at-home moms and criticize that they don't want to work or they're too lazy, or I hear it because my mom was a stay-at-home mom as well, so I know what it is to be raised by a single parent. Not that you're single, I'm just saying that when a mother is really loves her children and takes care of them, there's a lot of reasons for that. It could be the neighborhood that you live in is not a safe neighborhood, and they're fairly young, your children, so you want to protect them as much as you can. But I really commend you and think that you're doing an awesome job. What I get from Spirit is you're doing an awesome job at it. You're very dedicated. I feel like you have a lot of positive energy connecting, but there's a lot of sadness to what's going on with you. I don't feel it's that you're holding on too tight to your kids. That's what's stopping you. I don't see that. I see this almost karmic in nature, that you have a lot of struggles that you are working through in this lifetime. In particular, I feel like there's a lot of gloominess around your love life, around a relationship with someone that kind of broke your heart, or has broken your heart in many ways. And I feel like this is could be like the father of your children. Things are not perfect. I see a lot of murkiness. I see a lot of stagnation in that area of your life. And sometimes the love life is connected to your family life in many ways. And it affects, your overall surrounding. I also get that you are very much an empath, a highly sensitive person. We call this HSP. And with highly sensitive persons is that you are going to be like a sponge, and anyone that is around you, everyone carries energy. If their vibration is very negative, you are going to be absorbing a lot of that negativity and taking it into you. If your children are being bullied, if that's been a theme, because I feel like one of your children may be experiencing or has experienced bullying at some point in their in their school life, there's going to be a lot of these emotions and stuff that you would be picking up, and there's a lot of residual energy in your home. I also feel like your home, your living space, is on some, I want to say, Indian burial ground, and I know that may come across as very like way out there, but I don't know where you're located, if this was like an Indian reservation or there was ever Indians from like the 1700s to early 1800s, but I get there's a lot of things going on that are contributing to how you are feeling right now, stuck. So the first thing that I would like for you to do is to get some sea salt and or kosher salt, and you can go around your property, around your living space on the outside, and kind of sprinkle that around the property. The next thing that I would like for you to do is to go ahead and on the inside of your home, get 4 small bowls, fill them up with equal parts of water and sea salt, and then put them in every corner of your house. Like if there's something in the very much corner, then you can put it a little bit away from it or on the nearest thing, but make sure it's in the corner of each part of your house, like the 4 corners of your home. And then leave it there for 24 hours. After you're done, get get that water, those little bowls, and kind of throw them in the toilet, empty the contents into the toilet and flush it. Basically what this is doing is cleansing and purifying your space. You also need to sage, because since you're an empath and all this is residual gunk in your home, it's circulating, and every day it's causing you to feel like kind of like you're not making the right decisions. I would get that you would be getting migraines, maybe even getting some nausea. It's affecting you in more ways than one. Even your sleep is affected. So you do need to do this, and it's kind of going to purify your area. And you need to do this like once a week or even more. Sage, also sage every room. And as you're doing that and walking into every room, I would recommend starting from the back of your home, working your way to the front. Have all windows and doors open while you're doing this. And then as you go into each room, try to hit all the edges of each room with the sage, just walking around with it, and say, I only allow love and light to remain here. All negativity must leave. And you need to do this kind of cleansing, once a week, or like I said, however many times you feel. These are protective measures that are going to help you emotionally and spiritually to feel a lot better about what is going on in your life right now. Then I do get that there are going to be some changes, around your life coming up in the next 3 months. So I feel like really around February 2019 is when you're going to start seeing a lot of more progression, and I see you really going forward with an idea. I feel like you are being guided, so it's no coincidence that you came to me with the question to the show about your situation and wanting to break free. I think your own spirit guides are really guiding you and telling you it's time. It's time for you to kind of pick up the where you left off, and start loving yourself a lot more and doing things that projects and things that you wanted to do before you put everything on hold to take care of your kids, and then kind of maybe involve them in some of these projects and things that you're working for. I get that this would be a lot around your career and things that you want to do. I also feel like there's an opportunity here for what the idea that you're holding on to, that you want to see flourish, that there's a lot of potential to make money off of it. And so you'll have more financial independence and basically feel a little bit more better and concerned. I feel like sometimes, this is going to sound kind of weird to some people listening, but money is not everything, but sometimes it makes you feel good and it boosts your confidence when you are earning, money, and you're earning it, out of your own hard work or out of your own ideas. And I feel like this is the time Spirit is saying for you to take the leap of faith, to go into this blindly, but it's going to be something that really is positive for you and has a financial turnaround. And from that, it's going to also usher in a lot of positivity into your love life, because your love life, like I said, is very stagnated. But I see that's going to be changing over the next year. And there could be a new gentleman that walks into your life who that you meet, that has the same goals as you as well. But ultimately, I see you over the next 3 to 4 years working harder. It's going to be a process to get to the goal that you want, but you are going to get there. But you need to have consistency, and it is time. Spirit is telling you it is time to go forth and stop doubting yourself. I don't know why you're doubting yourself. You're a lovely person. You have a beautiful heart. So just go with it. That's the tea from Spirit for you. So again, I want to thank Holding On Mom very much for her question. And that was the tea from Spirit. All right, our third question is coming from viewer Black Glitter. Black Glitter says, "Good day, Ray. I have so many questions, I don't know where to begin. It really is exciting just to talk to you. I enjoy your channel immensely. When I discovered it, I binge watched all your videos, and I want to try and develop my own abilities if that is, I have any. But on to my question. I'd like to know if there's any one thing in my life that Spirit wants me to concentrate on. More specifically, should I focus on my career? If so, what would I be most effective in? It is my love life. Is it my love life? Have I met my life partner? Because I can't please choose which one of these I should put the majority of my energy into. Which would help the other areas fall into place. I appreciate your guidance because it feels as I'm all over the place. Thank you so much." Well, thank you very much, Black Glitter, for submitting that question. I can fully understand where you're coming from. We are all going through our own life path, and there's a lot of changes, a lot of twists and turns, and a lot of obstacles. With you, I'm going to focus and give you the message on what Spirit is bringing me through for you. So the first thing that comes out from Spirit that they're showing me is a lot of betrayal. You have a lot of things that have happened in your family life that are affecting you now in other areas of your life. This could be the upbringing that you had, people in your family always talking or not believing in you or encouraging you to the point where you felt a lot of self-love. And so when it comes to this, I see a lot of betrayal. This could also be around relationships where you have been betrayed or cheated on, but you've been the one that has been accused of being the cheater or not being faithful. So there's a lot of things centered around betrayal, deception, a lot of darkness coming from all areas of your life. And I feel like this is a lot from deviating from the past. And there's a lot of spiritual cords that you need to cut at this time. One of the things that I recently started doing, is to release spiritual cords. There's a lot of different visualization tactics, or techniques rather. I don't like to call tactics. I'll start pronouncing this right. I'll get it. Visualization techniques that you can implement, but something that I started doing and recommending to clients, it's very effective, is to get a piece of paper, and basically on the paper you're going to write something to the effect that I now revoke all contracts, all spiritual cords, all witchcraft done to me, anything, you can word it the way that you want it, but just mainly word it something like that, where you revoke and you take your power back. And you remove all roadblocks, and then sign it, and you burn it on the stove, or get something, a match or something, and burn it in a safe place. Take the ashes and just throw them outside. A lot of people will be saying, you're doing witchcraft, and it's not really witchcraft. It's more of a ritual. It's more of a releasing way. And if it is considered witchcraft, it's white witchcraft. It's not dark magic. I would never do dark magic at all. I believe in the light and in using the light. And there's nothing wrong with witchcraft. There's nothing wrong with being a witch, I feel like this is something that you need to do. When you do this, I did it for myself recently. I was going through some things, and I did this. And as soon as I did it, I received an important phone call from someone, an email, actually, and there's a lot of exciting things that are coming from that. But prior to that, I felt like you did, very much stagnated and kind of like, even though I've had a certain level of success in my career as a psychic medium, and everything that I'm with my book that's come out, there was a lot of stagnation that I felt in my life, and so I just heard my spirit guide say you need to do this, and I shared this with a friend or two, and it really did help. It's very powerful. I feel like when you do it in your own handwriting, you're able to break those spiritual cords. So whoever's hurt you, write their name on there, their full name. I now revoke all spiritual cords that I've had, or all past hurt, betrayals, and I release it into the universe, and you know, and I bless myself, and I call upon all my blessings from the higher power and connect to the higher source, and then just sign it with your name. And once you do that, just burn it, like I said, and throw the ashes outside. That's going to help clear a lot of this energy out of you. But this is just one facet of what's going to help you and propel you and open up these doors so that you can feel like you can function in all areas of your life. There is also some issues with money. I feel like when it comes to money, you may not know how to manage it very well. And this is not an insult. It's just what's coming from Spirit, and I'm being very honest. Like I said, I don't sugarcoat anything. Spirit is showing me that sometimes you hold on to the money real tightly, but then you have these moments where you may go shopping and it goes. So there's this almost these boundaries that you need to create for yourself, so that way when you have money, you need to ask yourself, make a list of things that you need, things that you don't need, but you want it. Why are you wanting it? Are you trying to impress someone? Are you trying to there's a lot of things around money that I see with you that you need to kind of like be more controlling on your money situation, and with that, it's going to get better. There is a female energy that is very much coming into your life within 3 months or so. Again, timelines are never definitive because we have free will. Things can change, but as of right now, what is in tune with your energy and aligned with your energy, Spirit is showing me what about within 3 months. So right around Christmas, around New Year's, I feel like you're going to meet this female, and she's going to help you. This could be like a best friend, someone new. She's going to help you and give you some ideas on how to kind of get out of this. She is a light bringer. She is someone that's a healer, and you may even know this person. You may already be friends with her, but she's kept her distance due to her own personal issues, but she's worked through them, and I feel like this person is very much a beacon of light, and she's going to help you. I do see your financial situation improving over the next year, so this is definitely going to be a turnaround. But there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of communication between you and your job. There needs to be better communication there. There needs to be, there's going to be a lot of moving forward with plans that you have. I feel like you're in the right area where you're working at right now, the thing that you would be doing. I feel like you're in the right industry, the right career path. So I don't see any changes that need to take place in that particular area. But I do see like there is going to be like a new city that you are visiting. From Spirit, that's what they're kind of showing me. So I don't know if you're contemplating even a move within the next 2 years, but I see that there is a larger city, but you're kind of like going to be living in the suburbs or outside of the city, but not too far away. This may make more sense later because sometimes some of the things that I see are more future oriented. But Spirit is showing me that there is progression. That all of this energy that you are experiencing right now is going to clear up, but you need to have faith that it is going to work, and you are going to feel a lot more positive and be ready for love. As far as your love life is concerned, I don't see like anyone new stepping in yet. I feel like there's a lot more focus needed on your career and your money. They want you, sometimes Spirit and the universe actually works and conspires to delay a soulmate or a twin flame from coming into your life, not because they don't want you to be happy or because they take pleasure in not seeing you happy, but rather because they are, wanting you. They know that if you have a love life, that's good, but sometimes your love life can interfere with your work and your progression with your goals. It can cause you to stunt your growth in that area, and if you're going through drama in your relationship, that can carry on into your career, into your work life, and affect your money, your coins, as people would say nowadays. So I feel like this is what Spirit is basically saying, is that you just need to be patient. This is not going to be this, my reading is not meant to like deter you or to crush you as far as your love life, because I know that you're eager to, experience true love and to be happy in that area. But Spirit is not saying that that's not going to happen, soon, but where the focus needs to be in, and everything seems to fall into place once that is done, is to be focused very much on your career. Give it 110%. Make any changes that you need, that you feel that are necessary. You're being guided by a higher power, so you just need to trust that. And I feel like you don't put enough trust into that all the time. You kind of doubt the universe is there and that they have your back. I see like you having these thoughts, sitting down in the early morning hours, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on your bed, or laying there and just like not being able to fall asleep, and you're restless and you're thinking about all of this, and it kind of like has caused a lot of sleepless nights. You could be going through some body pains as well, a lot of inflammation, and I'm not a doctor to diagnose, but I'm getting that there is some inflammation around your body, and this is being brought about through stress. So you need to kind of learn how to ground and meditate. I think that's going to help you also to kind of push all those emotions that you're feeling right now, and kind of even out the energy. But like I said, you're going to be fine. I feel like everything is going to fall into place, but there just needs to be more focus and structure, and you need to do that thing that I suggested, to write it out and then burn that piece of paper, and that will help you. So I want to thank you once again for submitting that question, and that was for Black Glitter. Thank you so much. All right, my next question is, the fourth question is coming from Scarlett. And Scarlett says, "Hello, Raymond. My question is, I don't have the best relationship with my mother. I don't feel like she likes me. She has been nothing but mean to me my whole life and never really showed me the love from a mother I was hoping for. Will there ever be a day we can fix our relationship?" Thank you so much, Scarlett, for submitting that. Wow, that is, I'm so sorry. First and foremost, I understand how that can be in family. My family, we don't have the best connection either, and I experienced that with my dad and with all the sides of my family. So I really understand where you're coming from. I do feel like when it comes to your mom, that she does love you deep down, even though she doesn't show it. But I feel like she doesn't love herself, so she can't show you or treat you the same way that she would love to, that you would love her to treat you, because she doesn't love herself. And this is something where I feel like this is again, past life related. You and her shared a past life in another time. And I feel like the roles were reversed in many ways, where you were the mom and she was the daughter. And I feel like you were strict on her in that past life. I know this may sound like way out there, but usually the family, the soul family that we're born into, at some point we would have experienced a reincarnation. We had a past life with them, and a lot of times when we are born into this lifetime, a lot of those souls are reincarnated and they come back, and they're part of our soul family again. But sometimes the roles are reversed, and I feel like in this lifetime she is your mom. And so many times you may have felt like you had to be the adult in this situation and take control, and she may have acted very childlike, and doing things that are kind of petty, maybe insulting you constantly about your weight, insulting you about your choices in men, insulting you, that you're never good enough and that you wouldn't amount to anything. I feel like these are the conversations that I'm getting from, from her, from spirit, and from my spirit guides, that these are the things that, you've felt. I feel like you felt very judged and you don't feel the love. And I think it's a very toxic situation, being around her. And I feel like she's not going to change anytime soon. I'm sorry to say that. I feel like she is stuck in a pattern, and the only way that she can get out of it is for her to acknowledge that there is a problem and that she needs to get healing. She needs to heal and forgive. I don't feel like she can forgive the people that have hurt her. I feel like she has driven away your father. I think she drove away a lot of key people in her life and has driven them away with her personality. And she doesn't have that many friends either. I feel like she's a very lonely person. And in the home space, there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of pain. I don't feel like she feels comfortable even herself. And I feel like at certain points she knows that she's not right, that this is not right how she treats you and how she treats herself. But ultimately, you can't, you're not responsible for anyone's happiness. You have to live your life. This is something that I'm learning myself as well. I think we're all, all the viewers and all the listeners out there would be able to relate to this, is that we're not responsible for anyone's happiness. We're only responsible for ourselves. We can't control what other people think of us, even if this is family, how they treat us and what they say. The only thing that we are responsible for is for our own life. And I feel like for you, you have this this void in your heart growing up. Maybe you saw your other, friends or people with their moms and getting along, going for manis and petties, and just having this great, awesome relationship, and you feel like you don't have that, and you want to fix things, because I feel like you have a good heart. If you were a bad person, you wouldn't want to fix this. You would just be like, F this, and I'm going about, and I could care less about my mom. But being that you are guided to even come onto the show, and it takes a lot of courage to do that, Scarlett, I want to thank you so much for doing that. It takes a lot of courage, so I really commend you. I feel like you have a great spirit, and even though that you're in a lot of pain, and even though things may not fix in this lifetime, I do feel like eventually, when she does cross into spirit, when that day should come, that she will have this life review and kind of see some of the things that she's done to you and how it has affected you on a spiritual level. There's a lot of inner demons that she is fighting as well, and I feel like she's a product also of her environment and her upbringing. I feel like it was a very strict upbringing. I feel like there was some level of abuse. This could have been sexual, this could have been mental, but I do feel on the mental level, she may be bipolar. Again, this is not a diagnosis, just what I'm hearing from spirit. So there could be some issues with bipolar, and also that a lot of people that are bipolar are not usually diagnosed. The majority of people, are undiagnosed, and they go throughout their life, and the family members just think that they're being evil or mean. But I really feel like this goes a little bit deeper when it comes into your mom. And I do feel also like, she's always, it's been about money. Like there's this, I don't know, I don't want to sound, rude or it come across that way, but like there's this greed almost when it comes to money and jealousy. So she could be dealing with, that she's never had enough money and only will come around certain family members or accept help when, or change her attitude when the money is given to her. I feel like that's something, that she likes. And I do feel like there's some legal issues that did occur in the family around your mom. So I don't know if she ever experienced a lot of legal issues, but I am getting something around legal issues with her. And I feel like, she has felt kind of like her path is not a good path for her. A lot of fighting, a lot of obstacles and delays. The best thing that you can do is pray for her. Pray to Archangel Michael to bring her peace, Archangel Metatron to help her see, help her mend and heal those situations in her life that need healing. The only other thing I could suggest is maybe family counseling, and goes beyond spiritual, is to get a professional, that specializes in family counseling and have that, that appointment. I really doubt that she would even want to go there, and I don't think she would even accept it. She doesn't feel like she has a problem, but obviously everyone else sees it and they feel it. So I'm sending you big angel hugs. The best thing that I can tell you, from spirit, is to just let it go. Pray for her, but keep your distance. I think you're doing right. And if it is written, for her to come around, she may, but I don't feel like this is going to ever change, really. It's like when you can you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's kind of like, the same thing with your mom. You can preach all you want. You can, be kind and show her love and kindness, unconditional love. but ultimately she's never going to change essentially who she is, because in her mind she is right, and you're wrong, and other people are wrong, and she feels like you are the one that's judging her. But ultimately, again, this is going to just be something where you just can't force it or change it. You'd have to pray for her, and just give it up to the universe, the higher power. And if it's meant, like I said, she will come around. So don't give up hope completely. I would say, keep working on your own healing, turning to your spiritual path, and just letting things go, and flow. That's the best thing, letting things go and flow. So I want to thank you so much for go ahead and submitting that question to me. Again, this is from Scarlett. That was the tea from Spirit. All right, our last question for this week's episode is coming from Wondering About the Future. And it says, "Hi Raymond, how lovely that you do this for your listeners. On a whim, I am submitting this question, so here goes. Nothing. Starting about 2 years ago, my husband started having health issues ranging from very serious to odd aches and pains, weird things going on with his body in one form or another. It literally has been one thing after another, and even though he is technically okay by medical test standards, he gets scanned every 4 months, he still hasn't been the same and is always ill in one way or another. I have the sense of foreboding about the future and have had dreams where he is talking about accepting his fate, and that the fact that he won't be around for long. This could be all fear-based, of course, but my question is Spirit trying to tell me and help me prepare a bit for the future where he isn't around? I cannot shake this feeling and finding myself wondering every time he goes for a test if this is it. If Spirit is trying to prepare me, I would so appreciate it and accept it, but if it is all in my head, I would sure like to know that too. Thank you so much for your help and for your videos. Signed, Wondering About the Future. All right, Wondering About the Future. Thank you so much for explaining this. I'm going to get straight to the point. I already know what's going on, as I had Spirit already whispering, and that's why I was kind of reading in a way where I get a lot of information coming in when I'm reading things, and so I'm almost like an automatic writer when it comes to channeling from Spirit. That's why I always do all my readings on a keyboard, on a laptop, through email, because as I get the information, I'm listening in my head telepathically to them. And your husband is a medium, hun. He's a physical medium, and physical mediums are going to have a lot of health issues. I also feel where you are at right now, if y'all could move, you need to move. I don't like to tell people that. I don't feel like the house is good. The area that you're living is good. The ground, the house itself has a lot of bad energy attached to it. I don't feel like you are, I feel like you're going through some issues as well, but maybe not to the same magnitude. And it's only a matter of time before your health starts getting deteriorating as well. A lot of people that are surrounded in haunted places, or places with a lot of negative energy or demonic activity, would be experiencing a lot of health issues, especially if you're a physical medium. There's mental mediums and there's physical mediums. Mental mediums are individuals who have spiritual abilities but kind of connect more to the psychic side of it, or they can connect and channel to spirit and get those, how they died and all that information coming through them, but they don't feel the physical effects. I'm a physical medium, so there's a lot of colleagues that I know that are physical mediums. Physical mediums are individuals who process death through their body, meaning that they are going to feel how a spirit passed. And so since it makes perfect sense that your husband is getting all these tests and they're coming out, you're ruling out the medical portion, and it's not all in your head. It's not in his head. These are actual, what's happening is that he's not aware that he is a physical medium. And so when you're not aware that you have spiritual abilities and you're actually channeling spirit, it's like, I've talked about this in different videos, so let me say it this way. Picture, it's nighttime outside and you have a porch light, and all these bugs, as soon as you turn on the porch light, flock to that porch light, and they start circling it. That is your husband. He is that light. And so, and many times when a medium has that ability turned on at full peak, with them not being aware, all spirit is doing is like hovering around them in a circle, and they're like knocking on your husband. And your husband is not aware, he's not hearing them, or he doesn't realize that he has these abilities because maybe he's skeptic, or he was socially conditioned or raised to be more religious, and he may be a non-believer. So their spirit knocking on him and telling him, hey Russell, I'm just throwing out any kind of name out there. They're like, hey Russell, we're here. I died this way. I want you to get this message across, or can you help me cross over into the light? And he may not be able to hear them because he doesn't want to feel like he's crazy, or because he's resisting this gift or he doesn't know. I feel like your husband doesn't know that he has this gift. I feel like he was actually someone that was naturally born a medium, but all these years he suppressed this. So what happens is that spirit is there, and they're like, well, can't you see me? I know that you can see me because I see the light, and I'm pulling to you for a reason. But he can't answer the call. So he needs to, now that I'm glad that you were guided to the show, that he is aware, he is going to be aware that he's a physical medium. You need to kind of look into different ways to kind of help him open that up. One of the things that he needs to do, if he hasn't done this, is meditate. When a medium meditates, what it does, it keeps your light there, where the spirit can see it and they'll come, but it will help to kind of diminish a lot of these symptoms, and diminish he won't attract as many spirits that are coming now to him. And he's going to feel a lot better once he meditates. He also needs to set up some healthy boundaries, and now he knows this, and even though it may sound crazy, he needs to say, or you need to say, go to another medium. I'm not able to help you. Go to another medium, because I feel like he's not going to fully open up to this, or he may be so skeptic that he doesn't want to fully open up and accept that spirit is there. So again, as long as he continues to resist it, it's going to continue to have anxiety attacks, pains that he can't explain, chest pains, pains in his back, maybe breathing problems, upper respiratory. Physical mediums are prone to having actual near-death experiences, heart issues. I had a near-death experience, and it was related to the heart. There are, you can develop illnesses later on. There can be cancer that can come from it. In some cases, not in every case, but it's not uncommon for physical mediums to get that, because when you're a physical medium, like I said, you're processing death all through the body. And when I mean processing death is that if a person died from a heart attack and they're communicating and you're channeling and they come to you, you're going to feel chest pain. You're going to feel palpitations. If they had something where they committed suicide, hanging from a rope around their neck, you're going to feel restriction around your neck. You may feel like you can't swallow, you can't breathe, or you can't talk at certain times. If you are having intense anxiety attacks, like I feel like he's going through a lot of these things that I'm mentioning, this is what I'm talking about. And a lot of you that are listening out there that would be going through this, and there's a lot of things that you can rule out. If it's been medical, then doing that. One of the things that was causing me a lot of anxiety was caffeine. So for your husband, if he drinks a lot of caffeine, he may need to cut those out and go to decaf, switch to decaf on it. Again, this is not medical advice, just what I'm getting from spirit and relaying that to you. But I do feel ultimately that you are being called, you and him, to change and move from that house. In the meantime, you need to sage each room. Use white sage. You also need to buy some selenite crystals, and put a piece of selenite in all four corners of your home. You can buy the selenite crystals at a metaphysical shop, or maybe somewhere online like Etsy or Amazon. I also would suggest for your husband to buy a saint, or for you to buy him a Saint Benedictine medal. I'm not religious, but I do believe in certain scapulars or religious medals, and as like talismans or protective things. And he needs to keep that, and you can look up what the Saint Benedictine medal is for. Basically, it's like for protection against darkness and evil. I don't feel like you necessarily have a demon in your home, but I feel like the whole area is very negative. There's been a lot of death in the surrounding areas, predating back to the 1800s. Many places, many people that would be listening to this, well, Raymond, that's kind of everywhere, nowadays. But in certain areas, there's like vortexes or portals that are opened up. And I feel like in your home, where you're at, that this is there, and it's not. It's bringing a lot of things in, and it's been open for quite some time. So that is what I'm getting. You could try to bring in a physical medium or some other medium or a shaman to kind of close those doors, and kind of see if that would help temporarily. But the first step is now your husband being aware and kind of shutting that out and letting spirit know, set up healthy boundaries and letting them know that they cannot come and disturb him, that he's not open, that he's not ready, to help. If he gets to the point where he would like to explore this more, you can contact me, and I'll be able to give you some more advice. If you'd like to set up a private reading for yourself or for him, and I can give you a little bit more, but I don't want to give too much on the air, because again, a lot of this is more private, but I know exactly what he's going through, and I see it. I see that he's a medium. So I hope this actually makes some sense. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this week's episode of Tea with Spirit. If you did enjoy this episode, please go ahead and like it, like the video, comment in the comment section below if what you thought about it. Did you find anything helpful in particular? Share this video onto your pages if you like. If you'd like to set up a private reading on anyone that's received a reading today on the show, to get more information, you can go to my website. It's listed here on the screen, and it will be listed in the description box below. And like I said, if you haven't checked out my new book, it's called Starseed Footsteps. You can order it from my website from that same URL that you're seeing here. It's in the shop section, and it's called Starseed Footsteps. It was released in September. And I've been getting crazy good reviews about it. It basically is a book comprised of many spiritual topics, things that I've discussed today on the show, but I discuss them more in depth in the book. Everything from what happens to our souls when we die, to crystals, to angels, demons, witchcraft, the occult, spiritual abilities, how to develop them, protective, and crystals. So there's different topics that I cover in depth, and it's kind of like a spiritual handbook, a spiritual tool book, to kind of help those that are newly starting on their spiritual path, as well as those that are already embarked in their path, and maybe they just need to brush up, or they need, they have, this aha moment that they need to kind of clarify what's going on. So if you haven't checked it out, again, you can order it from my website for an autographed copy, but if you want to just get a regular copy, you can get it from Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week.